Hi guys, welcome to Learn with W3Schools. My name is Dr. Zeeshan, and in this second session, we're going to talk more about the outputs and comments in Java programming language. We have started this Java course. We have already talked about the basics introduction of Java, getting started, and syntax using W3Schools website as a reference. We're only using this as a reference because, again, the material is there. You can easily follow along and understand the basic concepts as well as use the examples I've given here. So using this, today we're going to talk more about output, how we generate output in Java programming, and what exactly are comments and how we use them. So if you still haven't subscribed here for the first time, please do subscribe, helps the channel a lot. Let me know in the comments what exactly you are learning, how far you have reached, what exactly you want to learn further in the programming, how you find this video series as well. So stay tuned because I'm going to be posting all these video concepts about Java programming in next 10 days regularly. All right. So without further ado, let's begin. Let's come to the output and print statement a little bit more. I have already explained this in a moment as well. So we say print text. Basically, in order to do that, we use system.out.println. I've talked about it. Println method is basically what allows us. This is a method. So we call them a method because they proceed with the round brackets. But system is a class, out is a inner class. Do remember that. System is the main class, out. How do we know that? Because after system, we have written .out. .println. So because there are two dots before and after it, we know that, hey, it's an inner class. It's like a container inside a container. So it's a nested inner class. So there's an inner class inside system and it's written. Do keep a note that system S is capital. Okay. Java is very, very, very critical about capital and small letters. There are some small, there are some capital letters. So in this case, the class name, the main class name is capital letters, and then inner class is small letters, and the print method again also has a small letters, and then there's a semicolon at the end of each statement. Okay, if you want to try this code out, click on try now, come back here, click on the run, and it will run this code for you. So now you would see 3 lines of code executing for yourself. Simple as that. So whenever we need to print an output in our Java, we use system.out.println and we write a statement inside double quotation marks. This is how we generate the output. Now it talks about double quotation marks. Yes, you do need a double quotation marks to print a statement. If you avoid it, Java will generate an error for us. This will produce an error. This will say that because Java understands that if it's not inside the double quotation marks, means you are trying to write something about Java itself. And so it starts to get cranky and it says, hey, if it's about Java, it's using some Java keywords, I can have a problem with that. Okay, so trying to use this as well. Then within Java, we have another method called print. Previously, I just talked about print ln. Ln actually stands for new line. Okay, so the word ln that we use in front of print represents a new line. That is why every time you write system.out.println, the code gets printed on a new line. Okay, however, there is a method called simply print. So you can write a simple print as well. What this will do, it will print the content on the same line. So now if you see, I have written system.out.print hello world. I've written system.out.print. I will print this on the same line. And now you can see this, the output actually is on the same line. There's no line break here because this print method. Okay, so these technically are two different methods. There's one method called print ln. You can use that. If you use it, every time you write, the code will be printed on a new line because of this new line code, because of this new line preset. Then there's a method simply called print, but they will not go on the new line, they will print on the same line. Depends on exactly what you want to do. 90% or 99%, in fact, for my case, if I'm doing coding, I always use print ln unless I want output on the same line. And I just want to break the code in a different manner, then I go and use the print method. Okay, so this is basically what output usually says. How about printing the numbers? So if you want to print numbers, again, for numbers, we don't use inverted quotations. Why? Because everything you write inside inverted quotations is considered as a string. Okay, a string means number of characters, multiple number of alphanumeric characters, or any combination of that. So if you want to write a one word or a multiple lines, you always proceed and exceed with what we call prefix and suffix in form of inverted quotation marks. Okay, however, if you are using numbers only, 3, 4, 10, they are not string. They are known as numbers, or in programming, we call them integers. So any integer number, if you would just directly want to print them, you basically use the number directly. There's no need to write inverted quotation marks. This will work fine. Okay, because Java considers them as numbers. Java knows, hey, you are writing a number here, so that there's no need for that. You can write this inverted quotation marks in front of them as well. No problem with that. The output should be same. Okay, so if I write inverted quotations, no problem, because now Java is considering them as a string. Now they will print this as a string. We don't know that, but internally in memory they will be saved as a string, and the string is printed to us perfectly fine, no problem with that. But you have to understand that yes, and as a number you can print the numbers without inverted quotation marks, and then Java will treat them as an integer number. Okay, and they will print this as an integer number. You can use direct equations within the print method as well. You can say, hey, system.out.println 3 plus 3, and when I compile the code, it executes and prints the number in standard format. Okay, and then similarly, any multiplication and arithmetic operations you can do directly here, and it will go and do the exact task. If 3 plus 3 becomes 6, it will perform that arithmetic operations and print it. So because we use the numbers directly without inverted quotations, they are processed as numbers and arithmetic operations are performed. If you use this in inverted quotation marks, now they becomes a problem. So for example, if I say this is a complete inverted quotation marks, if I want to execute it, now this will behave as a string. Because this is a string, arithmetic operations will not be performed and the string is printed as it is. So that's the difference here. So if you started to go into more complex programming and you want to use more mathematics, you make sure that numbers are not inside the inverted quotations, because then they are behaved as a string and strings are just printed as it is. But because they are supposed to be numbers, we remove the inverted quotation marks and then we process them. That's how we know what's happening here. Okay, perfect. So these are basically how we print the output. So remember, system.out.println or system.print will give you basic ideas. Now let's go to comments. Okay, now what do we mean by Java's comments? Okay, Java comments can be used to explain the code. It's a very simple thing. Whenever we're writing or doing coding, we use comments to sometimes comment out certain lines or write certain piece of instructions or document our programmings. And it's always recommended for a professional programmer to give some comments on almost every other line at least, to define what exactly they're trying to do. So that helps people in your software house or other people who are working on the same code to understand what you have tried to do here. Okay, so that's the major aspect of it. So when we use comments, basically we use these double backslash. So if I come back here and let's just try this. If I don't want this statement to be printed, I use double backslash in front of it. It turns green. This indicates that, hey, this line of code is now turned into a comment. And if I run it, Java's compiler will completely ignore it. Okay, so now you see the Java's compiler has completely ignored the first line and only second and third lines have been printed. Okay, so and I can write the comments in front of it. This is second line. I can say, hey, this is third line. Okay, so line line. Okay, so now if I run this code, you will see that these word strings that I've written are not printed on the output at all, because I've preceded them with double backslash. This double backslash behaves like a special character, a special instruction to Java's compiler. So when I click on the compiler run button, the Java code gets compiled. Compiler again is like a software that reads our code, processes it, and generates a class file, which is then executed by JRE. So when we compile the code, our code is evaluated and checked, and Java's compiler will completely ignore this line, saying, hey, this is just the comment, so I don't need to worry about this. So whatever you write here will be completely ignored and will be completely overlooked, and compiler will not read it. So we use double backslash for that. And if you want to write multiple line comments, we use this symbol, backslash steric, and then steric backslash, and then you can write multiple lines of code here. And that matter, for example, if I want to completely comment out everything, I can say backslash steric here, and then come back at the end and I can say steric backslash. So now whatever is written here between these lines, okay, whatever is written here will be ignored. Okay, why? Because it's completely it's commented out. So you can do in any order you want. You can use it in multiple lines. Everything that you have written here will be completely ignored and Java will not do anything about it. Why? Because we have used a multi-line comment. So backslash steric means start of a comment and steric backslash means end of a comment. So this indicates that all the content between these two sterics are commented out and we get no output at all, because everything has been commented out. So this is again quite useful in programming when we are doing sometimes some piece of code we want to comment out. We need to write multiple instructions. We use comments. Okay, so if you are not sure about some code, we sometimes comment them out either a single line, meaning this double backslash, or multi-line backslash steric and ends with steric backslash. Okay, Okay,
Excellent.
so this concludes the session today. We talked about outputs and comments. Next, we're going to talk more about variables. So if you have enjoyed this video and found it useful, please leave a comment, like the video. And if you haven't subscribed though yet, come on man, do subscribe because we're going to cover all these major concepts in Java programming in coming days. See you in next video.